You walk down into your basement this Saturday morning and you smell it before you see it. That damp, heavy air, that sour edge on the back of your tongue. The kind of moisture that ruins cardboard boxes, rusts tools, and quietly feeds the black spots crawling up the corner of your drywall. And somewhere upstairs, that plastic machine you paid $240 for is humming, burning electricity, filling a bucket you have to dump twice a day. Now listen to me carefully. There is a $4 jar. It sits on a shelf in an Amish store outside Berlin, Ohio. It pulls more moisture out of a room than your $200 machine ever will. No cord, no filter, no bucket. It just works quietly the way it has worked in plain homes for over 150 years. The first time an Amish grandmother in Holmes County showed me hers, I stood in her cellar for a full 10 minutes before I understood what I was looking at. And what she told me about a document from 1936 buried in a county agricultural bulletin is the reason I will never spend another dollar on a store-bought dehumidifier. And neither will you, even if your house was built in 1962 and the walls are already sweating. Let me take you back to that cellar in Holmes County, because that is where this whole thing cracked open for me. I had gone out there to help a friend haul some oak boards he had bought from a Schwarzentruber family. The husband was not home, but his wife waved me inside out of the August humidity and told me to wait in the kitchen. It was 92 degrees outside. Inside that stone-walled house, it felt dry. Not cool exactly, but dry. The kind of dry where your shirt stops sticking to your back. I asked her how she did it with no electricity running. She smiled the way Amish women smile when an English man asks an obvious question, and she pointed to a wooden shelf near the cellar door. On that shelf sat 3 glass jars, clear quart mason jars, the kind your own grandmother canned peaches in. Each one was filled about 2/3 full with a coarse white substance that looked like rock salt but was not rock salt. The lids had small holes punched through them with a nail. A little bit of water had already collected in the bottom of the jars. She told me her mother used to do the same thing, and her mother before her, going back to when the family first settled that ridge in the 1880s. What was in those jars was calcium chloride. Not table salt, not Epsom salt, calcium chloride, the same compound highway departments use to keep dirt roads from dusting up in summer. You can buy a 10-pound bucket of it at any farm supply store for around $14, and that 10 pounds will run you through an entire year in a typical basement. Break it down by the jar and you are looking at about $4 to set up a jar that will dehumidify a room for 3 to 4 months straight. Here is the part that should make your jaw tighten a little. The University of Florida IFAS Extension Disaster Handbook, the same document emergency workers hand out after hurricanes, specifically recommends passive moisture absorbers for homes without power. They do not name brands. They do not need to. The chemistry has been public knowledge since before the Second World War. Yet somehow, every hardware store in America sells you a $200 plastic box with a compressor and a filter you have to replace every 6 months. Somebody made a choice for you, and that choice has been costing you money for decades. Now, here is where it gets uncomfortable, because you have to ask yourself why you never heard about this. Calcium chloride as a residential desiccant shows up in agricultural extension bulletins going all the way back to the 1930s. The University of Wisconsin published guidance on using it in root cellars in 1936. Farmers in Pennsylvania were using it in tobacco barns by the turn of the century. The Amish did not invent it. They just never stopped using it when the rest of America got talked into buying machines. Think about what happened in this country after World War II. Returning soldiers, government housing programs, rural electrification finishing up in the late 40s. Suddenly, every home had reliable power, and a whole industry sprang up selling appliances that solved problems our grandparents solved for pennies. Refrigerators replaced root cellars, clothes dryers replaced clotheslines, and electric dehumidifiers replaced the simple jar of salt on a shelf. The new way was not always better, it was just more profitable for somebody. The numbers on modern dehumidifiers are genuinely ugly when you sit down and look at them. A standard 70-pint unit, the kind sold for a basement up to 1,500 square feet, draws roughly 700 watts while it runs. In a humid climate like the Ohio River Valley or the Gulf Coast, that machine runs somewhere between 12 and 18 hours a day during summer. Do the math at 15 cents a kilowatt hour and you are looking at $30 to $40 a month in electricity alone on top of the purchase price, on top of the replacement cost when the compressor burns out after 4 or 5 seasons. A study published in ASHRAE Transactions in 2020 out of the Florida Solar Energy Center at the University of Central Florida found that in efficient modern homes, dehumidifier units can use nearly as much annual energy as the central air conditioning itself. Read that again. The little box in your basement can cost you as much to run as the machine cooling your entire house. Meanwhile, calcium chloride works on physics that cannot be improved upon or patented. It is hygroscopic. That is a fancy word for a simple thing. The compound has such a strong chemical attraction to water molecules that it literally pulls them out of the surrounding air and bonds with them. As it absorbs moisture, the salt slowly dissolves into a brine that collects in the bottom of your container. When the salt is mostly dissolved, you pour off the brine, refill the jar with fresh calcium chloride, and you are back in business. The whole process uses zero electricity, it makes zero noise, it has no moving parts to break. The Amish families I have spent time with in both Lancaster County and Holmes County use this method in basements, pantries, cellars, and tool sheds. One family I visited near Millersburg had 6 jars distributed through their farmhouse basement. They replaced the salt 3 times a year. Total annual cost, by their reckoning, was under $20 for a basement that was drier than mine had ever been, with a humming machine in the corner. Now, if you already own a house and you are thinking this only applies to people building from scratch, stay with me, because this next part is specifically for you. Especially if your home was built before 1980, when basements were poured differently, when foundations were not sealed the way they are today, when vapor barriers were an afterthought instead of a code requirement. Your old basement is not the problem. It was built to breathe. The problem is that over the last 40 years, you have been told to seal it up, paint it with waterproof coatings, run a dehumidifier 24 hours a day, and treat moisture like an enemy you fight with machinery. The Amish approach flips that on its head. You manage the moisture passively and continuously in small amounts at dozens of points throughout the space, instead of trying to dry the entire cube of air with one electric beast. Here is exactly how to do it this weekend. You will need 4 items: quart-sized glass jars with metal lids, calcium chloride flakes or pellets from a farm supply or hardware store, a piece of cheesecloth or an old cotton handkerchief, and a handful of small rocks or marbles. Total investment, if you already have the jars, runs you about $4 per station. If you need to buy everything fresh, figure $18 for a setup that covers an average 1,000 square foot basement. Punch 6 or 7 holes in each jar lid using a nail and a hammer. Place a layer of small rocks in the bottom of the jar about an inch deep. Lay the cheesecloth over the rocks, letting it sag down so it forms a little hammock. Pour 2 cups of calcium chloride onto the cheesecloth. Screw the lid on tight. The rocks hold the salt above the brine that forms as moisture is absorbed, which keeps the salt from dissolving into a useless puddle too quickly. The cheesecloth lets the water drip through while keeping the salt in place. Set 1 jar in each corner of the basement and 1 in the middle. Place them on shelves or small wooden blocks, never directly on concrete, because the brine is corrosive if it spills. Check them every 2 weeks. When you see about an inch of brine collected in the bottom, pour it out somewhere outdoors away from plants and metal. Refill the salt. That is the entire maintenance cycle. I did this in my own basement in February of last year. My basement had been running between 68 and 72% humidity, despite an expensive electric dehumidifier running nearly constantly. Within 3 weeks of setting up 5 calcium chloride jars, my hygrometer was reading 52%. I unplugged the electric unit. I have not plugged it back in since. My summer electric bill dropped by $47 a month. And here's the part nobody tells you about older homes. The walls and floors of a pre-1980 basement actually hold moisture differently than a modern one. They buffer it, they release it slowly. An electric dehumidifier fights that buffering constantly, cycling on and off all day. Passive desiccant jars work with the buffer, pulling moisture out at roughly the same rate the walls release it, which is why they end up being more effective in an old house than any machine you could plug in. If you have a crawl space, double the number of jars and place them every 8 to 10 feet along the perimeter. Crawl spaces are where moisture damage silently destroys floor joists over 20 and 30-year spans. Most people never look under there until the damage is catastrophic. A dozen jars of calcium chloride refilled twice a year will protect the structure of your home for less than $40 annually. For closets, bathrooms without fans, and pantries, use smaller jars. Half-pint canning jars work beautifully. Put them on a high shelf where nothing will knock them over. One small jar will handle a closet for 3 months easily. Now I want to tell you about something I did not understand until I dug into an old Pennsylvania agricultural record, because this goes beyond just keeping your basement dry. In 1938, the Pennsylvania State College Agricultural Extension, which we now call Penn State, published bulletin number 367 on the storage of root vegetables and grain in farm homes. That document specifically recommended calcium chloride desiccant in sealed storage rooms to prevent spoilage and mold growth. The bulletin was distributed free to rural Pennsylvania families for nearly 15 years. It was quietly pulled from active distribution in the mid-1950s, right around the time the first residential electric dehumidifiers hit the consumer market. I am not telling you there was a conspiracy. I am telling you that a piece of practical, proven household knowledge that had been handed out for free by a state university suddenly stopped being handed out at precisely the moment a new industry needed customers. The information did not become wrong, it just became inconvenient for somebody. The Amish, of course, never got that memo. They kept reading the old bulletins, they kept passing the technique down from grandmother to daughter to granddaughter. They kept buying 50-pound sacks of calcium chloride from the farm coop, and their root cellars today, in 2025, are as dry and as productive as they were in 1925. When you walk into an Amish basement in October, you see what a properly managed moisture environment produces: shelves of canned goods from floor to ceiling, burlap sacks of potatoes, onions, carrots, and cabbages stored loose in wooden bins. No spoilage, no mold, no musty smell, wooden shelving that has not warped in 40 years, cast iron tools hanging on the wall without a speck of rust, all of it protected by a handful of glass jars sitting quietly in the corners. Compare that to the average American basement: cardboard boxes of Christmas decorations with the corners softening from humidity, a treadmill nobody uses because the electronics corroded, family photographs and albums that are starting to stick together, a furnace that works harder because the air is harder to move, an electric dehumidifier running 20 hours a day, draining a bucket of water that gets poured down the same drain the moisture came from in the first place. Here is what I want you to understand before I give you the final piece. You did not fail. You did not make a stupid choice. You were handed a system designed to keep you paying, and you assumed the system was the only option because every other option had been quietly removed from public view. That is not your fault. But now that you know, you have a responsibility to yourself and to your family to do something different. Now, I am going to give you the piece that changed everything for me. This is the technique I promised you at the start, and it comes straight out of that 1,938 Penn State Bulletin I just mentioned. It is not on any blog. It is not on any YouTube channel I have ever found. I only came across it because a retired agricultural extension agent in Lancaster County loaned me a bound volume of old bulletins from his personal library, and he told me to read page 41 carefully. The Amish call it the charcoal and salt pairing. The bulletin called it the combined desiccant and deodorant method. And what it does, when you add this second element to your calcium chloride jars, is something no store-bought dehumidifier can do at any price. Here is the technique. Take a second quart jar, separate from your calcium chloride jar, fill it 2/3 full with hardwood lump charcoal, not briquettes, not the compressed kind with lighter fluid additives, pure hardwood lump charcoal, the kind sold for serious grilling. You can get a 10-pound bag at most hardware stores for around $16, and that 10 pounds will last you years. Punch the same nail holes in the lid of this second jar. Place one charcoal jar next to each calcium chloride jar throughout your basement or crawl space. What happens next is what no plastic machine can replicate. The calcium chloride pulls moisture out of the air. The hardwood charcoal, which is extraordinarily porous at a microscopic level, absorbs the volatile organic compounds, the musty odor molecules, the mold spores, and the trace gases released by damp concrete and wood. Together, they do not just dry your air, they clean it. The 1938 bulletin specifically noted that farm families using this paired method reported, and I'm quoting from memory now because the original is not in my hand, that their cellars smelled of nothing at all, while their neighbors who stored vegetables without this method reported the characteristic earthy basement smell within weeks of fall storage. The bulletin attributed this to the combined action of moisture removal and vapor adsorption. Refresh the charcoal once a year by taking the jars outside on a sunny summer day, spreading the charcoal on a metal baking sheet, and leaving it in direct sun for about 6 hours. The heat and ultraviolet light drive off the absorbed compounds and reset the charcoal for another full year of service. You never have to throw it away. One 10-pound bag, split across 8 or 9 jars, will protect your home for the better part of a decade. Total investment for a complete whole basement system: calcium chloride, $4 per station, charcoal, $2 per station, jars, if you need to buy them, $2 a piece, a full 8-station system that passively dehumidifies and deodorizes a 1,500 square foot basement with all materials purchased new, comes to roughly $64. Annual maintenance runs under $30. No electricity, no noise, no compressor to burn out, no filter to replace, no bucket to empty. The retired extension agent who loaned me that bulletin told me something I have thought about many times since. He said the saddest thing about his career was watching good, simple, proven knowledge get pushed aside not because it stopped working, but because nobody could sell it to you at a markup. The Amish preserved this method because they never let anyone sell them a replacement for something that already worked. Now it is yours. You walked into this video carrying a heavy monthly electric bill and a basement that smells wrong no matter what you do. You are walking out with a method your great-grandparents knew that the Amish never forgot, and that costs less than a single month of running the machine you were told you needed. That is not a product. That is not a hack. That is knowledge